Many people think living trusts are only for millionaires. When they hear the word trust, they imagine expensive lawyers and huge wealth. But the truth is very different. A living trust is not about being rich. It's about making life easier for the people you love and keeping control of your affairs if life suddenly becomes complicated. And life does get messy. People get sick. Accidents happen. Sometimes people pass away unexpectedly. When that happens, your family will either have a clear plan to follow or a pile of problems to deal with. That's why planning matters. In this video, we'll break everything down in simple terms. We'll explain what a living trust actually does, why a will alone is often not enough, the biggest mistake people make, and a simple checklist to help you set everything up without feeling overwhelmed. First, let's understand what a living trust really is. Think of a living trust as a legal bucket. While you're alive, you place your assets into that bucket and you control it. You manage everything just like you normally would. But if something happens to you, if you become sick or pass away, the person you chose steps in and carries that bucket. They follow your instructions without needing a court to control the process. That's the whole point of a living trust, allowing your wishes to be followed without court involvement. And this isn't only about death. It's also about what happens if you become unable to manage your affairs because of illness and accident or conditions like dementia. A living trust allows someone you trust to step in and manage things for you without going through a stressful court process. Now let's compare this with a will. A will is important, but it works differently. A will mainly gives instructions after you pass away, and those instructions usually go through a legal process called probate. Probate is a court process where a judge oversees the distribution of assets, settles debts, and ensures everything follows the law. The problem is that probate can be slow, expensive, and public. Your estate information becomes part of the public record. A living trust works differently. If your assets are placed in a trust, they can be transferred directly according to your instructions without going through probate. This saves time, reduces legal costs, and keeps your family's financial matters private. But here's the biggest mistake people make. They create a trust, but they never fund it. Funding simply means moving your assets into the trust. If the trust doesn't own anything, it can't do anything. It's like buying a safe and leaving all your money on the kitchen table. That's why funding the trust is the most important step. Wealthy families understand this well. They use trusts not just to avoid probate, but also for three key reasons: less court involvement, more control, and protection if someone becomes incapacitated. A trust allows you control how and when money is distributed. For example, instead of giving a large inheritance to an 18-year-old all at once, you can set rules. You might allow partial distributions at different ages, or require funds to be used for education, housing, or other responsible purposes. This creates financial guardrails and protects beneficiaries from making costly mistakes. Trusts can also provide protection from creditors, divorces, or poor financial decisions. Another huge benefit is incapacity planning. If you become unable to manage your finances, the person you choose as successor trustee can step in and manage everything: paying bills, managing investments, and handling property without needing court approval. Without that plan, families often have to go through complicated and stressful legal processes just to gain authority to help. So how do you get started? The process is actually simple. First, think about who you trust to manage your finances if you cannot. Then choose backup people in case your first choice is unavailable. Next, work with an estate planning attorney to create the trust. And finally, fund the trust by placing your assets into it. This might include real estate, bank accounts, investment accounts, business interests, and other important assets. Once it's set up, you should review your trust every few years or after major life changes like marriage, divorce, new children, or starting a business. In the end, a living trust isn't about wealth. It's about preparation. It helps your family avoid court, protects your wishes, and ensures that your life continues running smoothly even if something unexpected happens. Because the truth is simple. A trust only works if it's funded,